take a journey with us down the rabbit hole of one of the oldest and most consistent MCs out there today. We also talk about top 10 hip-hop albums of all time.
Happy Halloween. This will air right around Halloween. And we got new merch. We got hats. We got shirts on our website.
We want to thank a few sponsors this week. We have All Dry Erase Company out of Broomall. They do custom dry erase boards, custom printing, dye sublimation.
Paris Baguette Bakery and Cafe just opened up today in Newtown Square. Check our video. Everything is delicious, super cheap. Go check them out. We hope you enjoy the show.
All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of 40 Years and 40 Beers with your hosts, Bob Bain and Joe Massi, where if you let it, all of your dreams may come true.
We got to start out with congratulating ourselves. The official Riverside YouTube channel, they said that only 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 10. Then they said 90% of those people don't make it to episode 20. This is episode 22. We're officially old enough to drink now, and I think that's a major accomplishment. I'm happy that we're in the middle of season 2, and we're back just the two of us for the first time in a while. I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm feeling great. We had some pretty good guests. I think we had a great run there. We stayed in a specific genre, right? We had Chris Pierre Domenico on from Delco the Movie. We had Leah Savoli on, who was also from Delco the Movie. Also had some really interesting credits as well. And then we had our friend Chris Roberts, who told us some amazing stories that I thought was just going to be all about him being on Cobra Kai, but then we find out he's like the first Caucasian member ever of the Latin Kings. So that was really interesting.
We're trying to align on movies, TV, streaming, you know what I mean, multimedia, entertainment type stuff. And I mean, we've been lucky enough to get, these great guests and keep that going. And another round of applause. I think the stuff you've been doing on TikTok with The Sopranos is fantastic.
Thank you.
We're going, the one video is close to 300K. But there's constant activity. You were telling me this last night. There's constant activity. Every time we refresh the app, there's a comment, there's a like, there's something. Somebody's mentioning someone else. People are having conversations with themselves in our comments, which correct. I think is wild. And I love, even if it's just geared towards Sopranos related stuff, I love where the TikTok is going, and it's starting to really take off.
No, I love the engagement. I think there's a lot of people who are starting to kind of figure out who we are and what we're about. And I also think it's all genuine, right? We don't come in and with a script, and we don't really even have an outline. We just kind of wing it and be ourselves and talk about topics and things that we love and that we're passionate about. Which brings us to something I know you're really passionate about, right? And I was thinking about this. Is it true that Nas has put out like 7 albums in the past 3 years or something? Or is it even shorter than that?
He's put out 6 albums since the virus started. So I believe it was right after COVID began, the summer of 2020, he started a trilogy called King's Disease. And then he had 3 albums in that series. And then in the middle of that, he started another series called Magic. So we got King's Disease 1, 2, 3. We have Magic 1, 2, 3. August 21st, 2020, he started with King's Disease right after the virus began. And then King's Disease 2 was a year later. A few months later, he started the Magic series that was running alongside of that. A year later, he hits us with King's Disease 3. July and September, back to back, he gives us Magic 2 and Magic 3. Magic 3 ended September of 23. So we're just about at the 2-year mark. What he's doing now, cuz, is crazy. He has a record label, Mass Appeal Records. And so on Mass Appeal Records, obviously, there's a bunch of artists. He puts his own stuff out there now, but he has this whole, I don't know what you call it, a project, an initiative. There's a whole section of the record label dedicated to this Legend Has It series. He's going to do an album completely produced by DJ Premier. Mm-hmm. We've already gotten the return of Slick Rick after, I think, 28 years. Ghostface Killer just came out with Supreme Clientele 2. Raekwon had an album right after that. Mobb Deep just released their final album, right? We were talking about that the other day. So I don't know about that yet. I heard the first single. Nas is on all of these albums in either one record or multiple. He's got this flow, and he sounds like it doesn't sound like Big L from the 90s and Nas from 2025. It sounds like they both did it together, right? Like he found a way to like make it sound similar to what Big L was saying and how Big L sounded like from back then. But Havoc from Mobb Deep, he found, I guess he connected with Prodigy's family, and they found like 15 records, maybe more, but 15 came out. 15 a cappella records of his. Havoc and Alchemist did new beats. Havoc did some hooks. He rapped, he wrote verses, and they released an album called Infinite together. It's Mobb Deep's final album. It just came out. Big L and De La Soul are coming soon.
How long has Prodigy been dead?
I don't know. He's been dead a while. He was sick. He's been dead, not as long as Big L, but it's been at least, I would say, a good 8 to 10 years.
Has anybody else been putting out this type of volume, like who's mainstream, especially at this age? You know, like Jay has put out how many albums? And frankly, I don't care what anybody says. Nobody knows how old this motherfucker is, right? I mean, Jay could be 65 for all we know.
Yeah, or 18. Yeah, we don't know for sure.
We just don't know. And when was the last time he put out an album?
Or it was a long time ago. Let me see if I could look that up. 2017
was the last album. So it's been 8 years since Jay put out an album.
Now, he's had some amazing features, right? So, like, he has an 8-minute verse on Khaled's last album. It's called God Did. It's amazing.
Okay.
But yes, a full-length album, 2017. I think him and Beyonce technically did a group album together. It's called The Carters or something like that. I forget what year that was, but Jay as a solo artist, 2017. Yeah.
So just by sheer volume alone and skill, is Nas the greatest MC of all time? I know there's a lot of argument. I know a lot of people say that he is. I personally don't think that he is. I think we were robbed. I think Christopher Wallace is the greatest rapper of all time, MC of all time.
I mean, you can absolutely make the argument, and any real head would not be able to say you were wrong if you put Nas at number 1 or even in your top 3 or top 5, right? I mean, even Jay says it. Like, there's a song, Jay says, they argue all day about who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas. Like, everyone knows. But yes, to be in your mid-50s, to have a record label, to be promoting these dead people with these amazing posthumous albums, bringing back Slick Rick from another country after, 2 decades, to be putting out 6 of your own albums, to have a record label on top of the Legend Has It series. He's opening up a casino. Nas is opening up his own casino in Queens. I mean, obviously he has an organization that he's partnering with, but Nas is opening up a casino in Queens. So yes, from a volume perspective, and he is at the top of his game. Like, both of those trilogies are amazing. And I think that
whole, front to back, you can listen to the whole album. Amazing. Every one of them.
I can. I mean, obviously there's some skips. I wouldn't put them in like the top albums of all time, but they're phenomenal. There's a record on King's Disease 1 called Car 85. It's like one of my favorite songs. He talks about a cab. It just so happened to be cab number 85 from when he was a kid. Okay. And the guy was so cool. They would have got him smoking the whip. The guy would take him places, buy them beer. So when you would call and order a cab back in the late 80s, early 90s, they would request car 85.
Got it.
And he just became their boy. And, he's saying like, I'm messing with broads, I'm smoking weed, I was taken to some amazing places. And, like he just has this whole nostalgic reminiscent about car 85. But yeah, he's at the top of his game lyrically. And these are all 6 of them are quality albums. And I think that John Witt Primo is going to be unbelievable.
Well, a lot of people say he has the best hip hop album of all time, right? And what's funny is what a lot of people think is the best hip hop album of all time, I don't even think is his best album.
I agree with you. So Nas, If I Ruled the World was the first hip hop song I've ever heard in my life. In my house, it was Sinatra. It was heavy doo-wop. My mom and dad both were heavy on doo-wop. And I remember I was at my cousin Anthony's house and If I Ruled the World came on, and that was the first time I heard it. And the hook with Lauryn Hill, it was just like, from that minute, you know what I mean? Like, it was something that stayed with me forever, obviously. And then I had to go back and learn about like Wu-Tang, Eric B. and Rakim, all the stuff that came before it was written. But I agree with you. I think where you're going with this is, yes, Illmatic is yes, correct.
It was written is better than Illmatic.
I believe that It Was Written is a better album than Illmatic. And I know that that's not popular opinion. And I know that both of them are regarded as, like in the top.
Do you have them
But
both in your top 10?
no, I have It Was Written in my top 10.
So I don't even have Illmatic in my top 10, and people think it's the number one, which is insane to me sometimes.
But again, same as like what you were just saying about Nas being number one. No one can argue if you happen to say It Was Written and Illmatic are in my top 10. We were trying to get to this top 10 thing a while back, and I did have a chance to write down my list. I don't know if you have yours written down, but I'll go through mine and then jog your memory and see what you think, if you agree or disagree, and
I'll let
what
you know if I disagree. What I'll do is, honestly, if you say that, and I'll go, you know what, I actually have that here.
Yeah, okay. So number one, I have Life After Death.
That's definitely in my top 5. It's not my number one.
For me, there's no skips. It's an amazing album. I think it still holds up today. I think that there are verses that can become movies, like Arizona Ron, all that kind of stuff. I think that Life After Death is number one. I have It Was Written number 2.
Okay. I have that in my top 10. It's not my number 2.
I have Blueprint 2 at number 3. Okay. So a lot of people say Reasonable Doubt or Blueprint 1, but for me, it's Blueprint 2. I remember Poop was living with me when that came out. We were so broke that we couldn't get the whole album.
You could only get the single.
No, so it was a double CD. And obviously this was before streaming. So we knew somebody who had both discs. They would let us borrow one while they listened to the other, and then we would switch. Blueprint 2 is number 3 for me. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Now here's another guy who his debut album and then his sophomore follow-up were 8 months apart. X dropped It's Dark and Hell Is Hot and Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood in the same year. But Flesh of My Flesh that's number 4 for me. Number 5 is Chronic, 2001. I think I still listen to that from start to finish till this day. You know what I mean? Like these other ones I'll go back to. I have to like intentionally force myself to go back to the other ones. But Chronic, those beats, the melodies, I could throw next episode on at any point in my life and enjoy it.
It was a huge part of my life. I was playing baseball down in Florida when that came out, and I remember every time I was riding to a baseball game, I always had my headphones on listening to Chronic 2001 because it was 2000. It was the summer of 2000 that it came out.
Right.
It was also the introduction of Eminem. No, it wasn't. No,
Slim Shady was out before that.
Slim Shady LP came out before 2001.
Forgot About Dre might be the best song on 2001, and he murdered that. And then, of course, Jay-Z wrote for him on Next Episode. But the fondest memories that you attach to music, it makes those your number ones, your favorites, your top, right? So, yeah, like you're saying, like, Chronic, there's tons of memories connected to the Chronic. The memory I was just telling you about, the Blueprint and stuff like that. Number 6, I also think this is a hard one for anybody to argue with, being in the list, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Really?
Get Rich or Die Trying was...
I mean, commercially, it's in the top 10, but...
Yes, you're right. No one has 50 Cent in their top 5 lyricists of all time, right? Like he's not top 5 dead or alive in terms of lyrical prowess. Like he doesn't have bars like a Jada Kiss or a Fabulous does. But that album as a whole, with the Dre beats, the way he was one of the first guys to really sing on a hook and not make it like gay or R&B. You know what I mean? Like,
well, when I go through my list, I'll really have to, because I'm going to go through my list kind of off the top of the head, and I'll really have to think about if that's in my top 10. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a great album.
Yeah. I'm picking.
And this is the great thing about it. We talked about everything's subjective, right? I'm picking up what you're laying down. I think what makes a great album is one, how much of it you can actually listen to, right? No skips is the number one requirement, right?
Yes.
I think it's pretty high up there with no skips. There might be one, there might be two, which is why it's a little bit lower down your list.
Yes. Yeah, okay. For sure. I'm not gonna sit here and say all 10 of these have no skips, but Life After Death absolutely has no skips for me. That's why it goes number 1. It's extremely difficult for you to love every song on every album from one of your favorite artists. It's not easily done. Number 7 is College Dropout. Now,
definitely on my list. Absolutely.
I personally, if I'm ranking Kanye albums, I have 808 and Heartbreaks at number 1. for sentimental reasons. When he lost his mom and the way he leaned into the whole auto-tune thing and he created that album, that was my favorite. Twisted Dark Fantasy is number 2, and I have College Dropout at number 3. But I recognize that what it did for hip hop, and the first time that you really saw a producer come with such quality lyrics.
Absolutely.
Such inventive
quality
lyrics.
Music.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I
the
think
soul sampling and all, like he perfected that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So,
as great as the lyrics were on the album, I actually think the music might be better.
Yes. But even though it's not my favorite of his work, I recognize that it's phenomenal in the grand scheme of things. So it made the list.
Okay.
I have to count them. Number 8 is Wu-Tang Forever.
Yep. It's on my list.
You talk about memories. Like my dad had to drive me to the wall the day it came out, because back then new songs would release like in official stores on a Tuesday. So I remember Tuesday night after school, my dad had to drive me to the wall so I could go buy it. And again, double CD, right? There's a couple of these that are double CDs. Life After Death is double. Blueprint 2 is double. Wu-Tang Forever is double. Unbelievable from start to finish. You wouldn't imagine that 9 different men could do it again on a double CD after what you heard with 36 Chambers. But they did. And I think it's one of the best hip hop albums of all time. Number 9 for me is Doggy Style.
Yep, it's in my top 10.
Number 10 for me is a tie between Carter 2 by Lil Wayne, Drake Thank Me Later, and Mace Harlem World.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen, I think that is a very good top 10. And that's what I love about personal opinion, because my number 1 isn't even in your top 10.
Really?
Yes. And we just talked about this. Like, that's what's so great about being objective, right? Especially about hip hop. So my number 1 is The Chronic, the original.
Woo!
That's my number 1 for 2 reasons. 1, it changed the game of hip hop. It changed everything. And it was the first hip hop album I ever heard all the way through.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. For me, there's no skips on that.
So it's the opposite of how you feel about Nas. We just said that Nas for you is It Was Written Then Illmatic. But for Dre, it's Chronic then 2001.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Now, this is a big thing about my list, actually, and I think this could be, again, about the part about being objective, and it's a bias thing maybe, but I have a lot of 2-time artists on my list, all right?
Really? What do you mean by that?
Dre, for example, might be on my list twice. There might be 2 albums. Jay might be on my list twice. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, I tried hard not to do that, but if you feeling it, you're feeling it. So
yeah, in my opinion, it just these are the best albums of all time. You know what I mean?
What do you got? Who do you got at number 2?
Number 2 is It Was Written.
Okay, number
all
2,
right.
It Was Written.
All right. Number 3 for me is Wu-Tang Forever. All right. Wu-Tang Forever was the most incredible album I ever heard in my life up to that point, because I actually had to go back and listen to 36 Chambers after Wu-Tang Forever came out. Like, I didn't appreciate 36 Chambers until Wu-Tang Forever came out.
That's interesting. I think in general, for me personally, I appreciate albums more the older they get. All hip hop albums, right? Like, yes, I listen to other kinds of music, but since If I Ruled the World came out, I've been 90% hip hop my entire life. But an album gets better with age for me. So have you never heard 36 Chambers until after Forever, or you heard it, you just didn't appreciate it?
Think I didn't hear it until Wu-Tang Forever.
Okay. So Wu-Tang Forever was 97. I mean, I remember vividly.
Yeah, and I mean, I knew who Wu-Tang was. I just didn't really listen to them until Wu-Tang Forever came out.
Yeah, well, and because, like, how could you not know Method Man or All I Need or Ghostface and Mary J. Blige? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I listened to them individually. You know, like, I listened to Ghostface, I listened to Method Man, but I wasn't listening to 36 Chambers until I heard Wu-Tang Forever.
We might, if we were doing a Wu top 10, Iron Man would probably be my number 1. And I would say Forever might be number 2. But, okay, so 1, 2, 3, you're off to a strong start. What do you got at number 4?
College Dropout.
Yes. Okay.
College Dropout, like we already talked about it. College Dropout, in my opinion, is probably one of the most unique, right?
Yeah.
If there's not a better word, it's probably one of the most unique albums we've ever heard in hip hop.
Yeah, 100%. I remember, like you're saying with the appreciation, like, I didn't appreciate We Don't Care What People Say, drug dealing just to get. I didn't appreciate that chorus, especially with children on it and talking about drug dealing. But again, like, Poop has always appreciated things sooner than me. And I didn't notice, because we lived together for a good stretch. And he would love that chorus when it first came out. And he made me love it. And now today, like I was saying, things get better with age for me. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Kanye records of all time. But it had to grow on me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then,
so who's rounding out your top 5?
So number 5 is Chronic 2001.
Okay.
All right. So those are my...
It's a strong list, cuz nobody can argue with that.
So those are my top 5. I mean, Chronic 2001, you had, it was just unbelievably written, right? Even though Dre didn't write his own stuff. We know, did Jay-Z write everything for Dre? Because think about it. They also had Exhibit was on the album. He could have wrote for him. M could have wrote for him. Snoop could have wrote for him.
I think, now I've never looked it up. I'm just going by my ear. So hold on. Chronic 2001. Let's look at the track list. You got the Logo intro. That doesn't count. Watcher was written by Jay. Fuck You with Devin the Dude and Snoop is fantastic. He has a ghostwriter for everything, but I can't call it off the top of my head who wrote Fuck You. Still DRE and Next Episode was Jay. Big Ego, Explosive. What's the Difference? I feel like Eminem wrote What's the Difference for Dre.
Right, yeah, it sounds like it.
And Forgot About Dre, I feel like he wrote that one as well. And the rest of these, like, I always thought The Message and the other one, what's the other one here? And Murder Inc. I always felt like he tried to write them himself, especially The Message. Like when he's talking about Eazy-E and stuff, I felt like he tried to write that himself. But I feel like he had a handful of different people participate based on what the record was. Because you have to imagine it would be weird if Jay-Z wrote a verse for Dre and then he hopped on a song with Eminem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly.
If Eminem writes it, it kind of blends a little better. There's a little more glue there.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. That makes perfect sense.
So what was that? That was 5. Who do you got at number 6?
Number 6 is Life After Death.
You got him way down low, cuz.
For me, I got him way down. I do.
You're on record moments ago saying Biggie was the best rapper of all time.
I know. I like all of his stuff collectively. You know what I mean? There's certain believe it or not, like Life After Death, that album, for example, that's not in my top 10 because as much as I love it,
you mean Ready to Die?
Ready to Die.
Yeah,
as much as I love Ready to Die, there's probably 4 or 5 songs on there. I'm like, you know what? They're great. What he's talking about, but they're just not for me. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. Ready to Die has skips. I agree with that.
The reason I love Life After Death is it was such a transition, right? Think about what was being talked about and what was being told on Ready to Die. And it was all about the street life. It was all about the hustle, right? And then Life After Death was about making it. Finally kind of making it out of the street life. And if you think about it, it was really such a sad thing because it came out after he died.
It did. Well, he recorded all the songs before he passed. But I remember Vinny called me and he was like, your boy died. He's like, put the news on. You know what I mean? That was back when you had to put the news on.
Yeah.
And I remember March 9th, like I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, and then Pac as well. But I think the fact that he was gone, if you lived through it, the fact that he had died and then you got the album in your hands, I think that added a layer to the appreciation. I forget his last name, but Alex, there was a kid named Alex in the neighborhood, like on Maganza or something. And he had a Jeep, like a RAV4.
Alex Stewart.
Yeah. I remember Alex had the cassette tape, and we would listen to Notorious Thugs on repeat in his car and just drive around the neighborhood. But I think just in a general sense, the fact that he had died moments before the album was released, it made it feel different for you. Like you were listening to something that was more special because like now this guy's gone. You can't tell him how great it was. You're not going to hear another record from him again. Although we kind of did hear some weird stuff. But okay, so who do you have at number 7? So wait. You have skips on Life After Death?
A couple. I mean, not many, but it is a double album. I mean,
but that's why I'm saying my argument is that that's why it's number 1, because out of 24 songs, I'm saying no skips.
Exactly. And that's where the objectivity comes in. Right?
I mean, I bet you I could pick your skips. I bet you I could pick your skips. My Downfall, Long Kiss Goodnight, and You Nobody Till Somebody Kills You. The last 3 on disc 2.
Wait, did you just say You're Nobody Till Somebody Kills You? You think I skipped that?
Yeah.
I don't skip the Long Kiss Goodnight either.
All right. I mean, what are you skipping over here? The intro, Somebody's Gotta Die, Hypnotized, Kicking the Door, Fucking You Tonight, Last Day, I Love the Dough, What's Beef, the interlude, More Money, More Problems, Bleed. Oh, I can't say that. Ninjas Bleed. I Got a Story to Tell. Notorious Thugs. Missing You. Another. Going Back.
It's a great album. It's phenomenal. It's unbelievable. It's not my number. It's my number 7.
Yeah, I can't argue. I can't argue.
Or is that my number? It's my number 6, right?
No, 6 was. Yeah, it is number 6. Yeah,
it's my number 6. Yeah.
All right. What's number 7?
The Black Album, Jay-Z.
Classic, Mel.
That for me on that, there's no skips.
Yeah,
there's no skips. And the fact that it was at that time, because he was on top of his game, because I have another album coming up later that's in my top 10 of his, that you really thought it was his last album.
Well, and I think he was genuinely trying to make it his last album, and that's again right. Like you're saying, I think that made it more special. You were like, this is the last time we're ever going to hear this motherfucker. And this album is fantastic.
It was unbelievable. He literally destroyed hip hop. He destroyed hip hop with that album. And that's why he couldn't leave. He was like, all right, I'm still the greatest album. I'm the greatest out there. I can't leave now. So that's
if no one else is going to do anything like this again, I got to keep going. Yeah. All right. Number 8.
All right. All Eyes on Me. Yeah, Love All Eyes on Me.
That was the first album I purchased. The first song was It Was Written, but the first album I bought my own money at Kmart was All Eyes on Me.
Yeah, you gotta love All Eyes on Me. I mean, it's one of the greatest albums, right? It's the first album he did when he came out of when he was on
Death Row. Yeah,
when he was on Death Row. As soon as they picked him up, got out of prison and knocked out a double album. Yeah. How you gonna get a double album as soon as you get out of prison?
Now, I will say I agree with you, and I struggled with putting Pac in my top 10, but I have skips on All Eyes on Me. Do you have skips on All Eyes on Me? You got to be honest.
There's another double,
one or two. Yeah, another double CD. Yeah,
that's why it's number 9.
Yeah,
or number 8. Number 8.
Who do you got? Number 9?
Number 9 is 36 Chambers.
Look at you, 2 Dre's and 2 Woos. That's awesome.
Yeah, 36 Chambers.
Mystery of Chess Boxing. You can't.
Just the style. It's the first time we ever heard a style like that, right? Everybody from Staten Island. Who the hell knew where Staten Island was before Wu-Tang came out? Yeah. Right? Protect Your Neck may have been. I remember when the video came out, and it was the most raw thing I've ever seen in my life, right? Then the album, when I went, like I said, I knew Protect Your Neck. Okay, I knew that song, but I never went back and listened to the whole album until after Wu-Tang Forever. But the song itself, the whole album was just so raw, right? That's what RZA was going for. I mean, he wanted it to sound like it was being recorded in a basement.
He intentionally, he said multiple times, he intentionally wanted to be gritty and raw and slightly unprofessional sounding. And even the guys too, there were a lot of mistakes on the album. Things were offbeat. You might hear a hook that's 4 bars and doesn't repeat again, right? So, but the imperfections made it perfect.
No, I agree. It absolutely did. And then number 10, it's another double. All right, another double artist.
Or not a double CD, a double. You got another artist you're repeating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dynasty.
Yeah.
I love the Dynasty. Think about, songs like Parking Lot Pimpin', right? 1-900 Hustler. Right? Think about all the people who were introduced on that album.
Philadelphia, State Property, the whole
everybody. Remember, he's like, who the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Jeff Blake and South Beach out of the reach of the police got on my lap. That album was unbelievable. That was 99? Probably. That was the summer of 99. I'm almost positive.
The not Park on Pimpin', 1-900 Hustler was original with the phone calls. I had never heard that before.
Oh my God. First things first. What you say out your mouth? I remember as soon as you heard it, you were like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah. And you couldn't help but that's a verse where every time you hear it, you have to sing along. You know what I mean? Freeway had some anthems like that. What we do, International Hustler. But the intro to the Dynasty album is the best intro in all of hip hop.
Well, really? You think the intro to Reasonable Doubt? Yeah.
Oh no, but that's the Jay's intro is a full record. It's a song. Yeah. No, as a skit, I agree with you. Reasonable Doubt, maybe when Biggie's banging the broad in Ready to Die. Some of that stuff is classic. People don't do skits anymore. But if in terms of people rapping on the intro, the Dynasty intro is at the top of the list.
No, I agree. I can still hear it in my head. I think
it's one of the best intros. The theme song to The Sopranos. I think it's one of the best intros of all time.
No,
That's
it
how he
is,
starts
absolutely.
off, the theme song to The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great,
I think they're both great lists.
that's a great top 10. I don't know if Dynasty counts as a double because that was technically like a group album. So you might be able to get away with that. But I agree. No one can argue with that. It definitely belongs in the top.
Yeah, but it was Jay-Z, the Dynasty. You know what I mean? They were
La
featuring.
Familia. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like any album. I mean, listen, the only one who doesn't have anybody on their albums is Nas.
Yeah.
Like, especially back in that era. I mean, everybody was trying to form their own label. I mean, I think that's when he actually got Rockefeller Records together.
I feel like maybe in between Volume 1 and Volume 2, like right around the time Annie, like Hard Knock Life came out, I feel like he was on Rockefeller by then. But it was early days, even if it wasn't there yet. You know what I mean? So for sure, Dynasty was at the beginning of Rockefeller as like a household name. And, you know, we talk about Nas so much. We talk about Dr. Dre. Now, yes, there weren't tons of features on Nas's solo albums, but The Firm was an entire album from 4 artists from the Queens area, New York area. Jay did all the beats for The Firm, too.
What do you mean Jay did the beats? Jay wasn't.
Dre, Dr. Dre. Yeah.
Okay. So who was in The Firm? You had Nas, Foxy Brown, right?
AZ and Nature.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Noriega gets honorable mention, Mobb Deep gets honorable mention, and Cormega. But the 4 main people are Foxy, Nas, AZ, and Nature. And Dre did most, if not all, of the beats. And he said it recently, like on Drink Champs, they asked him, what are your most famous records that you weren't actually on? And he says Phone Tap. So Phone Tap, Firm Biz.
Phone Tap's one of the greatest songs ever. AZ's on that, right? It's AZ and Nas.
What's the dilly? Just touch grounds down in Philly.
That song is banging.
So that doesn't get talked about enough. I can enjoy it. I mean, there's skips, but I can enjoy the Firm album for sure.
Listen, Foxy Brown's debut album was friggin' unbelievable.
I loved her first album, like Il Nana with Meth.
Yeah.
I thought, what's the joint with Blackstreet? Bring You Home, Gotta Take You Home with Me. You know,
that's a great one.
When Jay put her on Reasonable Doubt, Ain't No Ninja, when that song came out, it was so crazy to me. She was so cocky for a young woman. Absolutely. On that record. It was extremely impressive to hear a woman rap like that. Do you think that was the first time you heard a female rapper? Because like we're in our early
no,
so
I know for a fact it wasn't. The first one I heard was oh my god, you know exactly who it was. Afro Puffs.
Lady of Rage. Yeah.
Rage.
No, you're right. But no offense, but she blended in with the men much on a lot more on that record.
Yeah, and she was horrible. It was just a pop song at the time, right? I mean,
right. But we're a little too young for the Queen Latifah, and what's the other broad's name?
What, for female rap artists? Hip hop? Yeah, MC Lyte. I mean,
MC Lyte and Queen Latifah. We weren't really banging that. Like we weren't playing. I didn't own a Queen Latifah or MC Lyte cassette tape. Did you?
No. Well, who was first? Was Foxy before Eve?
Yeah, way before Eve. Yes, but you're thinking about Little Kim. I don't know the answer to that question.
I was wondering. I guess you're right because Eve was the first lady of Rough Riders. So she wouldn't have come out until after DMX.
Correct. And if you remember, her and Beanie were coming out at the same time. There was a label in Philly called Black Friday, and they were connected there. Actually, Eve got Scott Storch his start with Dr. Dre.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize he's from Philly.
Yes. Yeah. He used to be a member of the Roots. The Roots were in Philly. Beanie and Eve were coming up in Philly. They were part of a label called Black Friday. Black Friday management is kind of how they got in front of Rough Riders and Rockefeller, got the exposure to be able to perform for them and get signed and stuff like that. But Kim and Foxy were earlier than Eve, but way later than people like Queen Latifah and MC Lyte. And of course we know of those legendary female artists, but Kim and Foxy were the first ones I actually heard on a record. Like you hear Kim on Biggie's albums, and then you heard Foxy on either her own album or Jay-Z and Nas's albums. And Affirmative Action. That was the first time the Firm got together.